to the Rutland Middle School JLC school term 2020-2021. I welcome all my new cadets and my returning cadets. Okay, I'm First Sergeant Alvin Thomas, the lead instructor for the JLC program. Real quick, some of you may not know what the JLC program is. JLC means Junior Leadership Corps. We started this 5 years ago, the 16-17 school term, and we have 5 schools. This school was a pilot, along with Ballot, the start of the program, and then over the next 2 to 3 years, we brought on the other schools. We have Ballot Hudson, as I said, started with us, with me, and we have Weaver, we have Applin, and we have Howard Middle School. Miller Middle School, Miller does not have the program as of yet. So that's what the JLC program is, Junior Leadership Corps. It's something kind of similar to the high school JROTC, but at a smaller scale. It's all about leadership. It's all about leadership. So if you want to be a leader or learn how to be a leader and take responsibility, we teach discipline, personal responsibility, and accountability. So if you want to learn those attributes, you're in the right place. I will say, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing at all. Everybody saying, well, I don't want to go into the military, I don't want to do that thing. No, you do not. There's no obligation that you have to go into the military. However, if you want to go on into the high school JROTC program, it will give you a lot of experience, and you will have that under your belt already if you want to go into the high school JROTC. And JROTC is not a mandatory program, and it's not an obligation that you go into the military. But guess what you've done for 6 years or so already? If you start here, then continue with JROTC. You have all of that experience as a leader, whether you go into the military or where you go into civilian life in the corporate world. You take all of that responsibility and all of that leadership free of charge. All right, going on. There's no cost to be in this program, with the exception of one thing. We have a uniform, and as of now, only the 8th grade will wear a uniform, and 7th graders that are a part of the drill team and a color guard. At some point on this video, this presentation, you will see the Marine Corps Solid Drill Team, which is headquartered in Washington, D.C., and you'll also see a little clip of a Marine High School color guard JROTC. And you'll see a little bit of PT, what PT is, for you that are not familiar with acronyms or military terms. Physical training. It's PE for the high school, but for military we call it PT, physical training. Going back to cost, as I said, there are no costs, with the exception of if you're on the drill team, even as a 7th grader, and only 7th graders and 8th graders can be on the drill team if you try out and if you're selected. 6th graders, not at this point yet. The only cost would be your shoes. Drill team members and also 8th graders. Now I have an option. You could do one of two things. The shoes will cost you $25. Of course, they cost more than that, but at my rate, you can have them for $25. Or I can rent you, and parents, renting meaning someone else has worn those shoes. You don't have to do that. It is your option. But I've been to other programs, I taught other programs, and we had boots, and sometimes I'm not sure if we sprayed the boots or not, I just let them sit up. And the next term, another cadet came and wore those same boots. Out of all my experience, I've never had a foot problem or complaint. And I'm not saying you must do that, that is your option. But it's kind of like going to the bowling alley and put your feet in behind hundreds of shoes that other people have worn unless you have your own. I'm just making that correlation. However, at the end of the term, you have an option to bring those shoes back. If they're pretty decent, I may give you a $5 refund. Or if you want to keep them, it is your option. If you rent the shoes straight out, it'd be $5 to $10 depending on the condition of the shoes. But when they come back, you're probably not going to get anything because they weren't new from the start. Moving on. Trips. Typically, we would go on trips and do some fun things, go to military bases and other places also. But of course, you know why right now things are different. So we're doing things different. So there are no trips. However, I will just tell you, 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was my second year, I did take my group to Washington, D.C. 5 days, and it only cost my cadets, I think, $85 or $90. And so you get a big discount. And for 5 days, you don't go to Washington, D.C. for 5 days. And part of what you see on this video is what we saw at Headquarters of the Marine Corps, the Silent Drill Team performing out there. So we had a good time. First class bus. So right now, no trips are scheduled unless things open up and we can travel, but I can't promise you that. Syllabus. I will at some point send you a syllabus, and what that is, I think you know what a syllabus is. It's kind of an outline of what we do day to day, like point value on a test or quiz, or what you do on this day, what you're doing that day. So at some point, you should be getting a syllabus and also the JLC contract, because I need the information, contact information for parents, the do's and don'ts for the JLC program. So that should be forthcoming. Right now, communication. I'm not real high tech on technology, but a year or two ago we did have a Facebook page, but we don't have that right now, and I can't promise you we'll get that. So we just have to go with the common way of contact communication. And as I said, my contact information will be at the end of this video at some point where you'll be able to contact me. So my email and phone number, we just go to basic means, or visit the school if that is allowed to see me for any issues or concerns you may have. What will this consist of? What will you do? We're using a new platform now. We're all learning. Maybe some teachers are familiar with this, but I'm not. It's called Canvas. And when we first went out in the 16th of March, we used Teams. I already got very familiar with Teams, but we'll use that a little bit, I think. But mostly Canvas. So it's a new program, and I'm still learning as well as a lot of the other teachers. So expect a few kinks. I can't promise you 100% perfection, but we'll do what we can. You have a worksheet sometimes, or a video, a PT video or something, to show me that you're PTing and you're following a PT video or something like that. But you will not be overwhelmed. I will promise you that you'll not be overwhelmed, because I want all your focus to be on your core subjects. But you will have to complete my work as well. But you will not be overwhelmed. Okay, uniform, real quick. This is your uniform, and everyone will not get this. This is the shirt. Of course, pair of pants. Male or female, these are female. Consists of a belt. Like the man in charge, the highest cadet will only wear this around his left or right shoulder. And one of these, if you're a leadership cadet, if you've had some leadership training, you'll wear this over your shoulder. And of course, this is some of the ranks, the insignia that goes on your shoulder, or actually on your collar. A cover, a cap, you would call it a cap, but Marine Corps call it cover. And this one would be for the drill team only, a beret, drill team only. And of course, the shoes. So, once again, I'm about finished with my presentation, but I do want to welcome you again to the 2021 school year here at Rutland Middle School. So you be safe, have a good day, and we will see you when we see you.